My name's Rosalie. I am a single mother of 2 children. We've been in government housing, well, I have, since I started living independently, doing my year 11 and 12 at 16 years of age. My son Mayer was born with a rare genetic syndrome. Its name is Coffin-Lowry syndrome. It affects Mayer's capacity intellectually, physically. He requires consistent support. He walked for 6 months when he was 5 years of age and started having seizures, which disabled his mobility. Our housing was not appropriate given that it was a 1-bedroom property, and there was also some other risks involved from abusive risks. So we were moved out of that property into a transitional property again in Port Melbourne, and we were there for 7 years, and we'll move to this property in Collingwood. I hoped, and I did, advocate heavily for it to not be transitional and permanent in nature so that the right modifications could occur. We need the back of this house modified so that it's wheelchair accessible. We need the width, we need an open plan environment, and we need a space, at least half of the house, accessible for his equipment. He has a walking frame as well. He has this standing frame, and he has a wheelchair and a big, awesome new bed. So I'm really happy that we've got this equipment, but now we need to actually use it. All of this could be appropriated through a little bit of an extension instead of trying to change the front 2 rooms, which me and Poppy can habit quite easily. Mayer requires 24/7 assistance with all of his self-care needs, but also monitoring his risks as his intellectual disability doesn't necessarily enable him to understand what will harm him. I have to manually lift him in his wheelchair into the house up a few steps. That's not something I can do ongoing. It's also very detrimental to the equipment that has taken 5 years through the NDIS, thank you, but too long. This property is owned by the government, so this property can be modified. I've been told no to all of the modifications because they don't meet some form of a code. The person making those decisions, I don't know if they appreciate me saying this, that their caseload was up to like 300 or 400 places, and so they're literally just operating off a checklist of no's. I was offered a property for the first time in 10 years a few months ago. It was not appropriate, would not fit any of the equipment. Also, they say if you don't respond within 5 days, you get taken off the list. They're speaking to people that are potentially homeless that may not have access to the internet. So if I didn't respond to that email within 5 days, we're taking off the list. Living without the physical and mental effects and the pressure of stress, which is really degrading my coping mechanisms. But without the mechanisms in society for one to cope, one cannot cope. And I really don't want to institutionalize my child. I don't want our family to split up. I don't want any more transgenerational trauma of segregation and of displacement. We love this community so much. My daughter is engaged with Clifton Hill Primary School, and having gone through a lot of her own safety concerns, of which they've just resolved through the family court, she's in a point of stability. She takes on a lot. It is extremely important for her mental health and her projection into her teenage years and early adulthood. As we're aware, early childhood has a great effect, and that's already been compromised. It's a huge pressure, and I really want to highlight that there is a lot of capacity in carers. They can understand what it is. The real fabric of community and society is supporting each other. I could give back to the community. You know, it doesn't have to all be about me and Mayer. I could use my intellect, my advocacy skills to actually do a bit more, and that's what I'd like to be able to do. But until I have my basic family's needs met, I can't actualize my potential.